Happy Friday, runners. It is our weekly Run Disney and Running at Disney update. We are in a different location tonight.
We are.
Yeah.
The living room.
/ workout room. You can see the Peloton and my favorite thing, the treadmill over there. She loves the Peloton. I love the treadmill. And then some of our favorite running medals in the background.
And memorabilia.
Yes, so we're at home tonight doing our update. Just didn't have time to make it over to the Springs. The Springs is still open, and we still feel pretty comfortable going there, right?
Oh, yeah. We'll be back there next week.
We'll be back there next week for sure. All right, so Kristen, what is big this week in the world of running at Walt Disney World Resort?
Well, we know that the hotels just started opening.
Mm-hmm.
Some restaurants have kind of started opening. But the big thing for next week, and probably will bleed into a little bit of our chat next week, is the parks are finally opening.
The parks are opening.
And we do have tickets.
Oh my gosh.
To Magic Kingdom.
So we are annual pass holders, and they're doing an annual pass holder preview on the 9th and 10th. And we were watching our email every second of every day to see when that invitation came out. And luckily, what was it, Monday?
Yes.
Was it Monday? I was luckily staring at my phone when the notification came through, and I think within like 30 seconds we had made our request for an invitation, and we got it to go to Magic Kingdom at 9 o'clock in the morning on the 9th, and a lot of people didn't.
No, you know what? We have good practice with Run Disney. So we knew. You just never know what you're going to do, and you need to be on your game. Got
to be on the ball if you want to go to Disney nowadays. So we were ready, and I was freaking out. I called Kristen, and I'm like, what do I do? Oh my gosh. And she's like, I got it. So we got our reservation to the preview. We're going to be to Magic Kingdom, 4 o'clock in the morning?
Oh, probably. Maybe we'll just sleep in the parking lot.
We kind of screwed up the first day back at Universal and went late and kind of missed some things. So we're excited to be at the Magic Kingdom early on the 9th to let all of you at home know what's going on over there.
Yeah, so we're going to do some videos that day, hopefully more than one.
A wonderful Magic Kingdom POV treadmill video. Guys, I run to these treadmill videos every week and I love them. So please check them out if you love treadmills as much as I do. I'm kind of freaky that I like treadmills as much as I do, but I love running on treadmills. So there you go.
You can have it.
I will have it. I will have it. We'll have all of it, yes.
So that is the big thing that we're preparing for. And next we have...
We've got a lot of dogs at home here, people.
There's a lot of dogs.
A lot of dogs. Please excuse the barking. Yeah.
So we have... also, we took some trips this week kind of around Disney because in the past, prior to everything going on, you could go different places around Disney World and run the boardwalk being one of our favorites. For example. And with the hotels opening up, we took a little drive around to see kind of how things have changed now.
Full disclosure, I saw somebody on Facebook that was running their virtual races over at Saratoga Springs, and I got real jealous. Somebody posted pictures. They must have been staying or had previous reservations for Saratoga Springs. So they posted pictures of them doing their virtual race series over at Saratoga Springs, and I got super, super, super jealous.
I know.
So I'm like, we gotta drive over by the boardwalk and see if there's any way we can get in to run.
Well,
the answer's no. Folks. It's not gonna happen.
So we're gonna get some photos on Facebook today about just of those signs. Major League Soccer.
Soccer has taken over the boardwalk. Well, they've taken over.
They have. Yeah. It's security upon police upon security, and there's signs in the bushes.
They have their own security teams and signs in the bushes, literally telling you to turn around. So. You're not getting into the boardwalk unless you're staying at the Yacht and Beach Club. I hear the boardwalk's open maybe right now for guests. It's hard to say, guys. Unless you have a reservation there, it's hard to say, what's open and what's not.
So a couple of things. Why I mention this is because, so say you have a reservation at a hotel, just pick one, for coming up in the next few weeks or in the next few months. To the best of my knowledge, from what I know, you may not resort hop, and they do not have dining open. So for example, there have been times in the past where perhaps we would go running, maybe at the boardwalk or maybe over by the Polynesian.
Port Orleans.
Yeah, or and then we would have a breakfast reservation after we were done or before, something along those lines. Maybe it was dinner, and then we'd go for a little run, sometimes a walk, sometimes a jog in that particular hotel. So from what I can see right now, they do have dining for the guests that are there, but you're not going to be dining here, there, and everywhere, and to be able to go in between from what I can see.
No, and if you're staying at like the All-Star Resorts, or if you're staying at Saratoga Springs and you think you're going to be able to go to the boardwalk and do an awesome run like we love doing there, you're not going to be able to. Yeah.
No, well, in the case of what we're speaking of, Major League Soccer has already gotten into town because they're starting their events and games, matches, I should say, July 11th.
Yes.
The NBA has already started flying some players in, and we know that the resorts that they're occupying, if there's some DVC mixed in there, they've already put up some big fencing and kept guests away from certain areas, which could affect the running that you do or kind of maybe your enjoyment of certain areas.
Even the Grand Floridian, we drove by there and they have some big structures going up in the parking lot. Yeah. Very permanent looking structures going up in the parking lot to handle the NBA and different security features or whatever is happening over there. Sports is taking over Walt Disney World.
So lots of security. Just kind of plan for that.
They have the money, and so that's the way to go. Yeah.
So if you're in town and you think, oh, maybe I'll go for a run or something along those lines, it's going to be a little bit longer. And we'll get some photos up of some of the security stuff that we saw and kind of how the measures are right now. And if you are on property, they still have fitness centers. There is still places to run and jog, but they are just limited.
So keep in mind, and this is something I didn't think about last time, wine and dine. If you think that you're coming to go for wine and dine weekend and you don't have reservations for Disney, you're not going to get reservations for Disney because they're not opening up until 2021 for new reservations. So if you're doing wine and dine weekend, you're going to have to start looking for other options other than Disney because they're not going to take new reservations.
Well, they have said that it might come open
Our Husky Bella
later.
really wants to play fetch right now. This is why we go to the Disney Springs, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's really playful.
Yeah.
But they're saying they'll open them. They haven't given a date, but we don't really know what that means. It could be a month. It could be 2 months. I don't know. So,
Yeah.
2020 reservations, just kind of plan ahead there.
Yep.
So,
What's next on your list?
everybody's getting excited about these races that they've just booked.
Yeah.
We just went through booking for Marathon Weekend. We booked for Princess Weekend. And Star Wars registration is coming up really soon here in August.
Yep.
And one of the things that people always ask when they're signing up, because they're so excited and they're starting their training. Many of you are just starting your training, so you're getting ready for the race season in the fall and the early winter next year in 2021. Balloon ladies.
Yeah, you want to know what to train and how
Yeah.
fast you need to run to not get swept, right?
Yeah. So the pacing at Disney is 16 minutes per mile. There is not really too much of a cutoff for the 5Ks. They're pretty lenient there, but we're more so talking about these half marathons, your 10K, where they're pretty on their game. And everybody's so worried about the balloon ladies.
Well, you need to tell them what the balloon ladies are.
Yes, that's true. I should.
Yes.
Because I'm sure that you'll start to read about it and wonder. So there is a group of ladies, and they are.
Why can't there be a balloon man?
Oh.
I would like to be the balloon man some
They're
year.
probably,
So
maybe there
Disney,
has
if you're
been.
out there, think
Maybe
of
there
me
has
for
been.
the balloon man, because why does it always have to be the balloon ladies? But
You're
that's
right.
okay. They're great,
Right.
but I would like to participate just in case they want.
So they are there. They are not the ones that sweep you, okay?
No.
So they are the ones who are there at they're the very last.
They start dead
to
last.
start.
Yep.
And from there starts the clock of the 16-minute per mile.
So they walk at exactly 16 minutes per mile. They're called the balloon ladies because they have a bunch of balloons so that you can look over your shoulder, and if you see a bunch of ladies with balloons coming, lickety split, you got to speed up. Yeah.
And they'll tell you, so if you get behind them, it doesn't mean that the balloon ladies say, "Oh, you are done. Stand off to the side of the road." You know, they'll sit there and they encourage you. They say, "Come on, keep up with us. You can do it."
I've never seen these balloon ladies, so I don't know.
Oh, you'll have to meet them.
Sure, I will.
Well,
Sure
not
I will.
like we don't ever want to meet them like on the course.
Right.
You know, and you know what? Maybe we
I don't
should.
even know if they exist. I
Oh,
don't
they
even.
do.
This is a myth.
I've said hello
Yeah.
in the corrals, and like I've sought them out.
Yes.
To kind of get that experience over time.
But you're right. They don't sweep you. It's the
No.
Disney bus behind them that's
It's the
sweeps
Disney
you.
security and the nice bicycles.
Let's be perfectly honest here, though. There is no shame in that.
No.
There is zero shame. So don't be disheartened.
Or let that get your training down.
No, not at all.
Not at all.
If you make it half of your 10K and you get swept, so be it. You made it half of your 10K. That's awesome.
Yeah.
You know, maybe you can make it further the next time. So don't let it discourage you,
Yeah.
but it is a good reference point. And it's something to think about, like in your mind, like gotta stay ahead of those
They
balloon
get
ladies.
a lot of new runners or people who are new to Run Disney are so worried and so nervous, and I hear it all the time. And they are saying like, I need to train for the 16-minute mile balloon
16-minute
ladies.
mile balloon ladies, yep.
Don't worry about them.
Yeah, and you know why? Because you still get a medal.
You do. So
They still give you the medal.
just to be focused on the positive,
yeah.
there are people who get swept for many reasons. It's not just because perhaps they didn't train,
Or you get an injury.
There's a lot of people who get injuries.
Yeah. And then you get on that nice air
They
conditioned Disney
have
bus.
buses along the way. Yep.
Yep.
And then they take you to a pretty private place at the finish line, so you aren't kind of in the middle of it all. And
But
we
there's
actually have run into that little location. And they're all very gracious and welcoming. The Disney cast members are to those people who come off that bus.
Yeah, so you don't need to feel shame or feel bad about it at all.
No.
You know?
So, but
Yeah.
what we want to do with this what I want to do is just kind of bring to light like who they were and kind of calm your fears, because don't focus on them. Focus on your own training. Focus on you can most certainly beat a 16-minute
You can, and you know what you don't think about? Think about this. The balloon ladies leave absolutely last in the absolute last corral. So, if you're not in the absolute last corral, you're not looking at a 16-minute mile. You've got actually more time than that.
Yeah.
It's hard to do the calculation, but if you're in C or D corral and the balloon ladies are in G or H or way behind you, you still have so much more time.
Yeah.
So actually that 16-minute mile pace just means that if you left the very last runner that they let go, then you would have to keep a 16-minute mile pace. So if you leave before then, it's all gravy for you. You've got extra time.
Well, and you know where that comes into play is maybe your training has been great, but maybe you do have a bit of an injury. We've both
Maybe you
been
got
there.
an IT band problem from running way too much.
Maybe you do.
Happens.
But when you're on the course, again, all things going on in the world today, and you want to be able to get a selfie or a character stop or take some pictures, or you know what, just use the bathroom. Because sometimes in the parks, it's nice to use the air-conditioned bathrooms.
Oh my gosh, those
and
porta
there's
potties,
lines.
those porta potties are everywhere. But
Yeah.
let me tell you, we found like secrets. Like there's a bathroom in Animal Kingdom that's kind of hidden in Avatar.
Yeah.
That's really nice that nobody ever goes to. So you can find these little secret bathrooms that are
That
really
should
nice.
be one whole week.
It should. Secret bathrooms along the
Secret
race.
bathrooms
course.
on the course.
Because those porta potties are.
So
they're porta potties.
if you can make it to these spots, here's the easiest and the nicest, the cleanest one.
And you'll see those people along the race course that you know are totally holding it. They're like, oh, only a little bit longer to make it to Magic Kingdom.
Some of the lines can be pretty long, and you're in a race, so you don't want to spend 15 minutes.
Just
in
use
line.
the correct restroom, please. You know.
Oh, yeah, that will be in the top. That will be in the week where we talk about that topic.
Yes. Use the correct restroom.
Or we should make a video about that.
We could probably, yeah.
That would be a good video.
We need a
secret bathrooms of Run Disney
secret
races.
bathrooms of Run Disney races. We actually need a race to happen for that.
Coming soon, a few weeks from now.
Yes. You're keeping the faith, aren't you?
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Well, they're
okay.
coming back. I mean,
Good.
when? Who knows?
Hard to say, but
Anyway.
it's coming. Yeah, it's coming.
Anyway, so I thought that we would just take some time to kind of, in your early training, you can do it.
Because most of you are starting to train right now, which is awesome.
Yeah.
And it just means that if you're training for a race that got canceled, guess what? You got extra time.
Yes, you'll be just fine.
More training.
Don't worry about it.
Pick up one of those awesome POV videos. Get on your treadmill if it's too hot outside, and just enjoy the extra training and the extra satisfaction you'll have when you cross the finish line. I know for me, I started running not long ago, maybe 2 years ago, and I remember it was really, really, really hard at first, and it hurt, and it was painful, but what really kept me going was that real visualization of the finish line and what that was going to look like and what that was going to feel like. And that's what I used as motivation for my training, and it worked. It really, really worked. Just keeping that good mental visual thought in your head of what that's going to feel like when you cross that finish line, and that's
the best part.
What do you use? Food?
Well,
Use
that's a
food?
good transition.
Sometimes food, maybe. I'm like, hey, when I finish this race, I'm getting a soft pretzel, big one.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
So that is an excellent transition because I do it for the medal. And so
I think you're not alone there.
Yep.
Yeah.
So our last topic is
The race of the week.
race of the week.
Is that
So-
broken?
Oh my gosh. Well, it wasn't a minute ago,
Uh-oh.
but it is now.
The little pin fell out.
Well, that's
It's okay.
okay.
I'll hold it for
Here.
you. You talk.
So this is.
Ooh.
Oh, there you go. So you can just probably
You don't
just
need to see my face.
turn
just
it
yours.
around.
Yep. So check that out.
So here we go. This is Wine and Dine from 2014.
Cool.
And why this is a fun one is because if you do any research or if you were there, this is the race that was notoriously known as the Splash and Dash.
The Splash and Dash.
Yes.
Okay.
And so this was one of the more memorable races at Disney in the last, amount of years.
Okay.
Because it started raining in the corrals. And this was when Wine and Dine was at night. And it started raining, and that was also a race where we went through Hollywood Studios when they had the Osborne lights.
Ah, that must have been so cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so what made this unique and why I wanted to bring it up, kind of going along with the training theme that you guys are starting, and we kind of taper off and then we start kind of into a big training here in the next couple months to get ready, is weather. So it poured like all 13.1 miles, it poured most of it.
There's your splash.
Oh my gosh. It's been a long time since I ran a long distance race like that in just utter pouring rain.
How are your feet afterwards? Do you get blisters?
I didn't get blisters, but the shoes and socks had to come off right away because my feet didn't feel really awesome. And, there are different techniques that you can use to get through a race that is raining. You can look those up. Some people suggest duct tape, that might not be so good if you want to use your shoes again, but it's something.
Or you know what? Do my method. Embrace the suck. I've had to run in the rain a couple of times where you get stuck out in a long run and you're 10 miles from home and it just starts pouring. Yeah. And you just got to embrace it. You got to take whatever you can out of it. Like, oh, hey, this feels good. It's a little cooler. It's cooling me down. You just got to embrace it. Embrace the horror, embrace the pain. Use it to your advantage and go with it, right?
So, what I wanted to bring up about that race is that kind of in your training, think about the weather, because sometimes you think, oh, Florida weather, I know it's going to be 80 and beautiful. It's not always.
Sometimes it's cold.
You can have, the cold can come out of nowhere. The heat, like this marathon weekend this year, never expected it to be 85, pushing 90 in January.
Oh, it was so hot. It was so hot.
And in this case, in the race of the week here, the Wine and Dine, Splash and Dash, Disney will not cancel based upon rain. They will make decisions about lightning. And I'm not going to go into the race where I had some interactions and Disney had to make tough decisions, because that will come up in the next few weeks.
The marathon was cut short due to heat. It got so hot, they cut the race later on. They cut out Blizzard Beach because it was just too hot and too not safe. Yeah, so they do make changes during the race?
In certain cases. But the point being here, for tonight's purpose, we're not going to talk about them cutting as much as what you need to prepare for, because they're going to keep it going.
Yeah. So if a lot of you are from up north, like Kristen and I are both originally from Wisconsin, and if you're used to all year running in, I won't say Wisconsin has low humidity because they don't, but if you're used to running in a climate that has low humidity and is generally cool all year round, when you get here to run, if you're doing the marathon, that humidity and that heat is going to really drag you down. So what Kristen loves to do, I'm not as good as her. I'll go out and I'll run. We ran a couple of times in the almost 100 degrees, and that's crazy. But try to train in the weather that you think is going to be in Florida, which is hot and sticky and humid, to try and get ready for it. And that's what we've been doing this summer, is running some really, really, really hot miles outside. Hydrate and be safe about it, because it can be dangerous.
Yeah. So that was why I wanted to bring that up, because Florida weather can be unpredictable.
Yes, it can.
The 2014 Splash and Dash Wine and Dine was memorable for that reason. There was no cutting of the course.
Well, I'm glad you shared this with us, though. This is amazing.
Run the whole thing, and it was their 5-year anniversary, so it was great. And there are definitely more races that were memorable experiences that we'll talk about coming
She's got a whole wall of medals back there, folks, to share with us. So we'll get one every week, right?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, until we run out, and then we'll pick something different to do.
I don't know. We'll figure it out.
So we keep saying we're going to talk about Club Run Disney, and we still keep forgetting to do that. So we'll try maybe next week to talk about Club Run Disney, because we are reaching our 25-minute time cap here. We'd like to keep it kind of short. But we'll bring that up next time. And I actually would be really interested if somebody watching this is a member of Club Run Disney. Comment below, because I would love to hear your thoughts on it, and why you joined, and if you've heard anything about what they're doing for you about the cancellations. I would love to hear. So comment below if you're a member of that, and let us know. We'd love to know. And if you haven't, hit that subscribe button and turn on the little notification bell so that you know every time we create a video, and that way you will be in the know with all the running things happening at Disney, because we are staying on top of it. You are my social media manager, making sure you're in the know with everything.
I know. I try to keep Facebook updated.
And guys, don't miss it. We're going to be at the Magic Kingdom this coming week on the 9th, and we're going to have a lot of new content and a lot of new information. So you're not going to want to miss that.
Yep. We'll see you next week.
All right, guys. See you next week.